Great to have you with us. Now, family members of the late Major Maxwell Mahama are still praying that justice is served and until all perpetrators are brought to book. Speaking to journalists after a wreath-laying ceremony at the Osu Military Cemetery here in Accra, father of the late soldier noted that though it's just been a year since the incident happened, the family is yet to come to terms with it. Nancy Emefa Jodosi reports.
Today, family, friends of the late Major Maxwell Mahama remember him when just a year ago he was gruesomely murdered at Dinsho by a mob, and the tears were just uncontrollable. The father says he hopes justice is served, though he broke down in the middle of this interview.
Today marks the 1 year. But, since 29th May 2017, when he died, it has always been, the pain has always been the same. And today, it's as if it happened even today. We are still in pain, and we pray that justice should take its course until all the mob, all the mob is here.
There are friends who become brothers, and that was who Francis Dufe Jr. was to the late Major Maxwell Mahama. He says he still remembers him, and he hopes the justice that is grinding slowly at this point will pick up fast so that the perpetrators of this crime will be brought to book.
I still feel the same way I felt the very day I was informed, because we spoke the previous day around 7, and he told me we'll be back soon, so whatever we had planned, we'll just take it off from that point. And just to be told the following evening when I got back from work that my brother, my friend, is no longer alive. That very moment I called his number over and over just to be sure, but he never picked. I just pray things will go as I wish, that all those people will be dealt with.
Our condolences to the family and all the friends of the late Major Maxwell Adam Mahama. Let's move on to some business now. And telecommunication giant MTN Ghana is today launching its historic initial public offer here in Accra. This means from today, Ghanaians can now own shares in the country's largest telecommunication network. The process for that historic launch is currently underway as the Marriott Hotel at Airport. Let's go live to that event.
Prize in Ghana hosted the Innovation Prize last year. We didn't have anybody in the top 5. But I believe that with such interventions, there's a lot more encouragement going to come in our innovation space to actually allow a lot more people to do really, for want of a better word, cool things, like having an IPO on your phone, being able to trade on your phone. This is a first. And it's a first for a best company also listed on the best exchange and the most attractive country on the continent. I think it's a marriage made in heaven. Government's drive to also stimulate development through an enabling business environment will create an opportunity for you to grow even bigger. Like I did say, the president's vision is that Ghana should become the best place to do business. And it wasn't a promise, it's actually a plan. And these are all little elements of that plan. Because I'm sure this IPO will demonstrate to the world that yes, Ghana is ready as a major investment opportunity and destination. It opens out the markets to other players who want to engage in the telecom space in Ghana, which is one of the fastest growing as well. I heard the number of market share indices, and you are even almost inclined to think that you are entering a monopolistic situation. But I don't use an MTN phone, I use a Vodafone, so I know that you are not there, you're not a monopoly. And so we are encouraged. But it just shows aggression in a market that is attractive, and that you can actually do things in this market. And so we will showcase you as one of those good examples of FDI that has contributed to the growth of the economy, but also embraced local content in a very structured, interesting way. And we are happy to share your risks as well. It's not just the rewards, as you said. MTN has set a pace by going public, and we would encourage other multinationals and FDI players in the market to look the same. At the GIPC, our intention is always to encourage participation and linkages for mutual rewards with foreign direct investment. We want Ghanaians to participate in your global supply chains, because that's also another way to embrace them and embrace the local content law. And so we would encourage you that not just should you allow Ghanaians to own shares, but get them engaged in your business. I'll once again say another big congratulations, because on the back of many of the things that a lot of the players in the telecom business are doing, we are seeing a lot of Ghanaian innovation. We are seeing new businesses created. We are seeing innovative ideas come across. And every day I'm more and more encouraged that Ghana is the place to be. I will end by saying that this is a great time to be in Ghana, to be a Ghanaian. And I keep saying that Ghana is neither first world nor third world. We are a new world of opportunity, we are a new world of optimism, and we are a new world of results. I can firmly say that whenever you go outside and you mention Ghana, people's ears get cocked and want to find out, what are you saying about Ghana? Because they recognize that this is a country on the go. And at the GIPC, we all say Ghana on the go. We are happy to be even identified with this IPO. Yes, we worked hard to get certain things out of the way, but we're encouraged that it's going to facilitate transformation in a very broad way. I can only say thank you for giving the opportunity for all of us to earn or share in your risk and your rewards, and also democratizing your business and spreading it nationwide and global. I think many others will look at your example and come to Ghana, but I will always showcase you as a good foreign direct investor who has participated and contributed to the national growth. And I'll urge all of you to buy the shares and be part of that story, so that you can also brag when you go home that I own shares in the company that's the first in that, it has 93% shares here, does that. Don't think you're a hardworking person, or at least a smart one. So I will end by saying congratulations. I think for the stock exchange, this is also a big move, much bigger than we all are recognizing. The stock exchange, the Ghana Stock Exchange, was the best performing stock exchange globally last year with a 52% return in real terms. And even as we speak, year to date, returns of 23%. Very attractive. And you make my work easier, because I can always quote some of these things. It's why Ghana will remain the most attractive place in West Africa and Africa. So thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Yofi Grant. So the next of the three speeches will be delivered by a man who excelled quite spectacularly in the telco industry. So as Eben was saying, I'm not too sure if his blood is yellow though, because his blood started out as yellow. He worked with a brand which was red and then green. And I guess because of the red, gold, green, you qualify to serve as a, a minister in the sector, because now his blood is red, gold, green. He's working for Ghana. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Deputy Minister for Communications and MP for Ewutu Senya West, Honorable George Nenyi Anda, to bring us his speech.
The Minister of Finance, colleague Deputy Ministers, the NCA Board Chairman, CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Nime, Name, Nananum, South Africa's Ambassador to Ghana, MTN Group CFO, and team from South Africa, MTN Board Chairman and members of the board, MTN CEO and Vice President and other group executives present, MTN staff, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, hello and good afternoon. So even I still have a bit of yellow in my voice. First, let me thank you for the invitation extended to His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Mahama Baumia, and Honorable Minister of Communications, and also to apologize for their inability to join you on this auspicious occasion due to exigencies of work. This notwithstanding, they have both directed that I convey their very best wishes to you today. I also wish to recognize the presence of the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, adjudged 2018 Best African Finance Minister. And since this is an investment issue, I certainly believe that he is the best person to support you launch this IPO. This shows how we are using telecommunications and ICT to create prosperity for the people of Ghana. I'm personally happy to join you in the launch. It really feels like being back home. And let me take this opportunity to commend the management of MTN for believing in Ghana and taking this laudable step to get enlisted onto the Ghana Stock Exchange. In 2006, the International Telecommunications Union and its membership took a decisive action for countries to migrate from analog TV to digital terrestrial TV, with a view to freeing spectrum for utilization by the telecoms ICT industry in order to offer better and efficient services to our citizens. Mr. Chairman, additionally, the growth in data usage globally for services provided online requires adequate spectrum with lower capex for deployment to reach majority of the citizens with such services and at affordable prices. In view of this exponential growth in data, there's the need for faster internet and to also request you to take full advantage of the value-added services offered by the 4G LTE spectrum license. In 2015, after wider consultation with industry players, government decided to offload 2 blocks of spectrum in the 800 megahertz band, of which MTN successfully acquired 1 to provide the citizens with faster internet connectivity for businesses and individuals to compete globally. As part of the 4G LTE license condition, MTN was required to sell 35% of its shares to Ghanaians by June 2018. Government is therefore very happy to see this requirement being fulfilled as part of government's policy for local content participation in our telecom space. The launch today demonstrates that responsible multinational companies like MTN abide by local regulations and policy to ensure mutual benefits to the company and the citizens for whom such services are offered. This is also a demonstration of mutual collaboration and good corporate governance, and will further deepen MTN's commitment to the Ghanaian telecom market and our overall economy. The customer and the people for whom these services are offered are the ultimate winners. Government appreciates such complementary roles being played by the industry to ensure that the right infrastructure mix is available to propel our digitization agenda. I wish to further indicate that there are some spectrum blocks still available in the 800 megahertz band for sale. And other telcos who are interested to enhance their operations and offerings to the Ghanaian people should take advantage of this. Mr. Chairman, it's refreshing and nostalgic for me to witness this proud moment of the launch. The first in the industry, an especially important occasion because it certainly represents the first and probably the largest telecom sector IPO in Ghanaian history. This is indeed another proud and historic moment for MTN and for Ghana. It's the hope of government that this journey that we are commencing today will be fruitful to MTN, 35% public shareholders, and the government at large. It is our hope and expectation that this IPO will broaden and spread wider the participation and investment in the nation's telecom sector by Ghanaians. It will enable improvements in the growth in a sector increasingly pivotal to the realization of our nation's aspiration to once again be a prime regional and continental influencer. Mr. Chairman, the recognition by the mobile network operators like MTN that they are key stakeholders in national development is testified in their partnering with government and its agencies in the implementation of government policy in the form of the installation of a common monitoring platform for regulatory, fiscal, and financial oversight and the monitoring of the telecom sector. We do recognize your efforts to ensure compliance with the laws of the land in the best interest of the people and the government of Ghana, as well as the best interest of the mobile network operators themselves. In concluding, may I request you support the regulator, the NCA, in the implementation of the common platform for traffic, revenue assurance, fraud management, and mobile money monitoring initiative, and may our collaboration continue to grow to impact positively the industry and the economy of Ghana, even as we build a Ghana beyond aid. We expect the full cooperation of all telcos in the implementation of the revenue assurance functions of the common monitoring platform as good corporate citizens. We will implement Act 864 to the latter and hope that the full cooperation of this common monitoring platform will demonstrate and indeed cement the existing good relationships between the regulator and the network operators. Congratulations once again, and we all look forward to this bright experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable George Nenyi Anda, Deputy Minister for Communications. And in case you just tuned in, this is a live event. We're here at the Marriott Hotel for MTN Ghana's IPO launch. If you're watching us on TV or listening to us on radio, send a message to somebody to tune in to join this historic moment. Before we take our musical interregnum and bring our special guest, we have a final speech. And this speech will be delivered by a man who, in many ways, epitomizes the stock exchange. He joined in 1990 And he's been there ever since, served in various capacities, including presiding officer on the trading floor, financial controller, head of listings, and general manager. He's been MD of the stock exchange since 2003. Mr. Kofi Yamwa will bring us greetings from the stock exchange. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you, Ben. Honorable Minister for Finance, thank you for being here. Honorable Deputy Ministers, Her Excellency, distinguished chairs, CEOs, and executives of various companies represented here. Thank you very much and good morning. I'm only bringing two aspects to this agenda. First, my appreciation, and two, my excitement. And my first appreciation goes to the NCA. It is because of NCA's condition that we are here witnessing this offer, after which there will be listing on the exchange. It's a condition NCA puts on MTN's 4G spectrum. It is in line with an advocacy the exchange has waged over several years, saying that for regulators that have the power to grant licenses to various sectors of the economy, the license should go with local content. And I mean local content to the extent of listing on the exchange. Fortunately, NCA has set the lead, and I expect and I implore the likes of Bank of Ghana, the Minerals Commission, the NIC to follow suit, so that in due course of time, many more of the giants of MTN will be on the exchange. And NCA went beyond just the condition. They facilitated a number of meetings. I remember very well one morning in August at Holiday Inn, there was what Mr. Asante described as focus or solution-focused discussions. I think the solution is here today, and I believe the NCA meeting was the beginning of that. Thank you very much, NCA, and we believe that the others will follow suit by your further conditions. Next will be the board of MTN Ghana, led by Dr. Ishmael Yamson. I remember very well that when the news broke that MTN was doing an offer but without a listing, the first person that came to my mind was Dr. Yamson. I knew him from Kingsway when he was a founding member of the Ghana Stock Exchange and also a well-known executive of Unilever. I needed audience with him. I knew him to be fiercely Ghanaian, and I believed that if I had a chance, he would buy into my principle. Thank you, Dr. Yamson, for listening to me, not only once, but twice during that period. And I must also thank the MTN Group, particularly the Director for Finance, who just spoke. I must thank him because when we met at Labadi Beach Hotel sometime back when the entire group was here for a meeting, he affirmed that in due course, MTN will actually list. Thank you very much for that assurance, which is realized today. Then I must thank my own chair, Mr. Albert. In one conversation, he said, Kofi, I have a meeting with the group finance director. What message do I convey to him? I told Mr. Essien that if you can get MTN Ghana to list, that will be your legacy as the chairman of the Ghana Stock Exchange. So, Mr. Albert Essien, your legacy begins today. Thank you very much. And then, the Honorable Minister for Finance. I tried severally before his assumption of office to get this message across. I sent him an elaborate email followed with a text, and I booked an appointment to meet him. And he gave me the assurance that I've spoken to MTN. I believe they will list. Today, that belief has been fulfilled. Thank you, Honorable Kenneth Furata, very much for doing that. I'm excited as the MD of the exchange in 4 ways. First of all, the service sector is the biggest in our economy. And within that sector, the telecom and information technology is fast and growing, but unfortunately, that sector is not represented on the exchange. So to that extent, we would say that the exchange doesn't represent a true barometer of economic activity in this country. And if we have to represent it, then the better way to do it is to have the leader of that sector coming on stream, and that is MTN Ghana coming on board. So that is very exciting for us at the exchange, and we thank Mr. Asante and his team for making that possible. Secondly, this offer is special. Hitherto, the offers have been pick a form, fill it, go to a receiving agent, submit it, pay, and then in due course you become a shareholder. MTN is introducing 2 additional innovative channels of distribution. First, I know that you can apply online as far as this offer is concerned. So anybody in Ghana sitting anywhere using internet can do application by online approach. And that is very innovative, the first as far as the market is concerned. Thank you, MTN. And more importantly, they also deploy mobile money. That will help us achieve a large number of retail investors. And that is also very unique. So it means that every mobile money user can use this approach or this approach to apply under the offer. And that makes it much, much easier for us to reach everybody in this country. My third reason for being excited, and I dare say for the exchange as a whole, is that as far as the pension funds are concerned, and it's growing very rapidly, we need companies that are good for our pension funds to invest in. MTN presents a company that is, 1, very well run, 2, reasonably profitable, I dare say much more profitable than we envisaged. It's very socially responsible, and in that regard, I believe that it's an opportunity for all pension funds, including and especially the second-tier private pension funds, to invest so that we can demonstrate a statement that the pension industry is ready to assist companies, raise money, grow, and develop this country. It's an opportunity for us to make sure that we get it right using the pension funds as far as this offer is concerned. And I believe all trustees will support the pension fund managers to do so under this offer. Finally, I know that MTN has more than 17 million phone subscribers. That, by my estimation, means that we there can say a target of 1 million retail investors should come to this market under this offer. We want to work towards that goal. And that in itself will bring so much liquidity to this market that we have always been accused of lacking. I believe that we stand ready to assist MTN achieve this liquidity target so that going forward, this market will really have come of age in terms of liquidity. Thank you very much, MTN. Certainly, the Ghana Stock Exchange stands to support you in your countrywide programs as far as this offer is concerned. And on my own note, I stand ready from tomorrow to buy heavily into MTN shares. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. You know a lot of people. You are very well connected. And you remember the dates of all the meetings. So you're a man we must meet. We want to bring you a spot of music. The Pan-African Youth Orchestra is the youth wing of the Pan-African Orchestra, established in '95 in collaboration with the National Theatre of Ghana. They have a short piece for us. Please enjoy.
We'll take you back for the launch itself, but let's take some other stories in the meantime. About 60% of basic schools in the Amenfi West municipality of the Western region are in deplorable conditions, a situation as teachers, students and community leaders find worrying and disturbing to cope with today. Now, today on Joy News Agenda, Natalia Kwanzaa has been to some of these schools and reports.
It is exactly 7 a.m. here at the Nkwanta MA Primary School in the Amenfi West municipality of the Western region. Students have gathered here under these trees, ready to disperse to their classrooms. The school is made up of only 5 classrooms, from crèche to primary 6.
Basically, what is happening here is that Agi and Benny here of Kwekukrum Basics School are struggling over this chair because Benny says the chair is for her. Agi also says that this chair is for her, simply because they do not have enough furniture in this classroom.
I'm here with headmistress of the school, Alhassan Monica. She's going through her books. Monica tells me this has been her office for the last 5 years.
Our school is an uncompleted building, and then the classrooms, even our walls have been cracked. The classes here, we have KG1 to BS6, but we combined the classes due to lack of classrooms. When it rains, it's very difficult for us to stay here with the people and then learn. We have to let them go home. Either we close, otherwise when it rains, there is no place for us to sit. The school is flooded everywhere. And there's a situation, we have our KG1 and 2 over there. One day we were just there, immediately after 20 minutes, the school block collapsed. And it was God who saved us. If not, all of us would have been in danger. We didn't know what would have happened to us. And as it's raining season at this time, I think classes will not be effective. I have no office here. There's no office. As we have no classroom, there is no office for me. That is where I do sit to do my officer things. I have to even pack my particulars to a nearby house. So anytime I'm coming, then I'll ask the children to go and carry it here. Then after closing, then we send it there. Due to that, some of our particulars do get lost. It will get missing because of that.
There are visible cracks everywhere. The roof leaks badly and the floor is riddled with holes. The school can best be described as a pen, as these vulnerable students will have to spend every day of their life in fear. The school doesn't have enough furniture for students and teachers. Eric Esufi teaches both class 6 and 5. He says he's extremely worried about the condition within which the students learn.
This is my first year in this school and we are facing a lot of challenges, in the field of teachers. And the whole school, the number of teachers here, including the headmistress herself, is 4. We are 4 in number here, handling 8 classes. So there are a lot of challenges here. And talk of the school building and other things.
This is a combined class of 3 and 4. Some of the students
Indeed, a deplorable state there, but let's take you back to the launch of the MTN's IPO taking place at the Marriott Hotel at airport.
Or not. So Pan-African Orchestra, thank you for doing this. Hope you can come back and do something equally nice. So it's time to hear from a man we have been all waiting for. And in spite of all the things said about him, he's a very simple man. He's our finance minister, and we're very proud of him. Please put your hands together for Ken Ofori.
Thank you very much. Good. Is it still morning, or have we moved on? Thank you, Madam Ambassador, Chairman, colleague, ministers, deputy ministers, and all of you distinguished people. I think we've heard enough speeches for today. So I would just really would like to thank MTN for making this courageous move, because I think when we started the conversations, it sounded a bit ridiculous or incredulous to them. They had not done it anywhere else and were worried about its potential effect. But I mean, I felt very strongly that we were in a new regime, and as Africans, we should be asking why and why and why. And by the fifth time, you have no answers, and you realize that, you know, the basis of your decision are not quite right. And then obviously, I mean, the joy in which you are talking about these firsts is indicative that everybody is going to be a winner today and the years that are ahead. So thanks again for the courage to do that. It's interesting for me because in I guess 1990, when we launched the Ghana Stock Exchange, there were only 11 or so companies. And ended up with $8 billion worth of investors. We ended up taking $2 billion of that. And that really begins to show what Mr. Grant is trying to illustrate, that, you know, there's something new about the country, and it's really up to us to drive this on. So I'm really encouraged by this, and we worked with IC Securities for the bond issue. And I'd like to congratulate you for this one too. It's just wonderful to see the whole Ghanaian setup doing that. So thanks for that. The finance director talked about, you know, our president and his speech at Oxford, but I think, you know, what he really the vision for this issue of Ghana beyond aid, or Africa beyond aid, is how do you create a self-confident and prosperous society in which we are all participating, you know, in ensuring that your fellow citizen has access like everybody else, and that we put poverty behind us. So we are trying to get this narrative for every Ghanaian to begin to feel different, to feel confident and strong about himself. And what the Minister of Finance is trying to define as how do you create a wise society, W-I-S-E, a wealthy, inclusive, sustainable, and an empowered people. And I think if we all internalize that, we really will see the black star that we're all looking for. So let's continue in this to, I guess, remain bright, your bright strategy, and truly believe that we are a unique continent and we can do it. You know, by 2050, we're going to be a quarter of the world's population. $2.5 trillion, 1.3 billion people. You have to deal with Africa. But we have to position ourselves that we are the drivers of it. You know, so let's even change this whole concept of local content into foreign content. We own our continent, and then we call somebody to join, not the other way. And I think we'll be that great continent that we all aspire for. So, let me just say thank you to all of you. Government will keenly support you in what you do. Without technology, we can't make it. We were in Korea last week, and it was really clear that it's about the human capital that we have to build and technology to support that. So I think really your responsibility as a corporate citizen will be, how do you apply this technology and to make sure that we break, this poverty gap? I mean, we can use technology to ensure that the education matrix and the pedagogy changes so that everybody has that access and opportunity, and it can be done. We've already started speaking with people like the Khan Academy and Facebook, etc. I think we should join to really transform education. And once we transform our people, you know that the sky is the limit. So government thanks you. Government looks forward to working with you very closely to make significant changes in our economy and for the benefit of our people. And government cannot do it all. And that's why we need you. Recently also, I guess I just came back a couple days ago, and there's a whole lot of noise about some platform services that are going on. And I think people have also brought up the issue of data protection. But these are all things that, we can find cures to without getting very political, about them. And I think it's incumbent on the telcos to be able to provide, solutions if somebody is really worried about data protection, etc. Because we need to do that. Facebook is doing that. Everybody's beginning to find a solution to. But the issue of monitoring is important. This is not the first place that is going to be done. And we should, marshal ourselves as a people of a certain direction to make sure that the nation, moves ahead. So on this occasion, I have this great privilege to formally launch the IPO of MTN. I wish to congratulate all of you for opening the door of opportunity to Ghanaians to share in the risk and successes of this great company. I really wish you well and look forward to a very successful launch. Thank you very much.
So he's launched it, but we're not done with the launching. This is just part one of the launching. So that contraption to your right and to my left is actually neatly put together to contain something very beautiful. So we're going to respectfully ask Ken again, accompanied on the government side by Deputy Minister George Anda, and then Yofi, GIPC, and then the two regulators to go to one side of the beautiful contraption. And then we have from the MTN side, Eben, Ralph, and Mr. Yamson to come to the other side. So please make your way up there. We're going to unveil something very important, and that would be the physical launch. So we've done the literal launch. We are now going to physically launch it. Yes. So my advice is that, Eben, you take one side of the rope, and then Ken, the minister, will take the other side. The rest of us will support them. And the advice is to pull the rope slowly and gently, because if you pull it too fast, it will not open. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So that's it. The MTN IPO has been launched. You can buy shares of Ghana's biggest telecommunications provider on the Ghana Stock Exchange after now. Let's deal with some other vexed issues. And the Ghana Medical and Dental Council says the Obingfo Hospital in Weija has been operating illegally for the past 5 years. Registrar of the Council, Dr. Eli Atipui, revealed the hospital where the Deputy CEO of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, Stacey Ofedako, died is currently the subject of investigation by the police because they have refused to remain closed. Stacey Ofedako told her mother last Sunday she needed to rest as she was feeling unwell after a trip overseas, so she checked into the hospital. Her mother tells Joy News hospital officials informed her after 2 days that her daughter had died after an injection went wrong. My
daughter was not sick. She said she was tired and needed some rest. So I suggested to her to put her phone off and rest. She should go to the hospital for a checkup too. I believe the doctor has a hand in her death. Even if the person is dead, you look for her relatives within 24 hours before taking the body to the morgue, because she might even be in coma. Her phone was there. We were all calling, and they never answered the call. I got to know of her death on Wednesday. I suspect the doctor because after her death, he embalmed the body quickly, making it difficult to establish the cause of death. He doesn't want people to know the poison he used on my daughter. And please, he wasn't there for body sculpturing. Monday now, 12 o'clock now, or 1 o'clock now. Now I'm more 5 o'clock now. Papa yetinya mo abai. I did not go share fridge. I thought I drew the abandon and teacher said poison now or the war now or the farm. Not just I draw now or the abandon into the wound. Oh, quiet post meeting now. You know, and only idea maybe suspect because on one could only your fluid. Now, Dr. Eli Atipui of the Ghana Medical and Dental Council, however, says Obingfo Hospital should not have been operating in the first place.
I would wish I was silent on this particular issue because the case is with the police. And I am sure during your investigations, you may have noted that that particular institution was closed down on 2 occasions and it was reopened. And then that case is currently with the police and they are doing their investigations as to why the institution should be reopened without recourse to the provisions or without recourse to the laws of the nation.
But they operated in those times that we were waiting for the police to finish investigations?
Pardon?
I'm saying that the hospital was operating at the time and people's lives were in danger whilst the police was investigating.
Yeah, you see, the issue is that the Medical and Dental Council took certain actions based on some information that we had received. And for that action to be legalized, we really had invited the police to come in. So eventually, with the closure of that particular institution, we did that in conjunction with the police for them to be able to do their investigations.
May the soul of Stacey Ofedako rest in peace. Now, users of the Mallam overpass are complaining of the unbearable traffic situation that has characterized their daily journey to various parts of the central business district. The situation is as a result of the construction of a culvert to curb perennial flooding after heavy rains. Joy News' Wilson Parker has been speaking to some passengers and has more in this report.
A journey that would normally take about 20-25 minutes is now taking about 3 hours. That is what road users from Kaswa, Wager Junction, SCC, West Hills Mall are going through at the moment. Now, this is as a result of the construction work ongoing at the Mallam Junction as far as the construction of the drainage system is concerned. Now, engineers say it has become necessary for them to do this just because of the series of flooding that we witness every year when it rains. So I'll be engaging some of the road users and find out from them the level of discomfort they go through. Boss, good morning.
Kaswa.
Kaswa.
Yeah.
What the traffic in for how many hours?
Easy. Bro, you cry about 2 hours.
About 2 hours. How is this affecting you?
Too bad.
I mean, yeah.
I say more money now because this about this time I will free out quite crowded. Then when I will be Skype cry and easy.
It's affecting everything. You get to work late, productivity is low, you can't do much, and it's, I mean, everything. Everything. You get frustrated, you get to work tired already. So bad.
So what will be your words to those, constructing the drainage system?
I think they should hurry up. This is becoming unbearable on us. They should just hurry up and get this thing done so that our lives can come back to normal.
So normally, how many hours would you have used from?
Just use an hour to work.
An hour to work?
Yes, just an hour.
About 3 hours?
2 hours just here. So in addition, I'm going to use about 3 hours, to get to work.
That is a challenge they are going through here at Mallam. So if you're coming from Kaswa, if you're coming from Wager Junction, if you're coming from West Hills Mall, as I mentioned, normally you would have to take about 25 minutes, 20 minutes of getting to Mallam Junction. But unfortunately, they are taking about 3 hours, and that is a major challenge for these individuals. Hi, good morning.
Hi, morning.
How many hours have you been in the traffic?
I've been in the traffic about 4 hours ago. This thing, you guys need to, they need to do it because we are going to work. Because of that, we are still in the queue, So those people are in charge to see through and then try to do something about it.
So this is really affecting you?
Very well.
Very well.
Oh, yeah.
So today are you going to work since you are late already?
I'm almost late. I'm going to plead.
So the word from the people working on the project is that this drain will be done on Sunday. And so by Monday, this traffic would ease. Let's hope that happens as quickly as possible. But this is it. That's it for today's edition of Joy News Today. Thanks for joining us. My name is Daniel Daze. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Let's make way for Emmanuel Abwajiriafi as he brings you the marketplace.